And speaking of becoming familiar with it, let's do an example. Okay, so let's say that we want to compute the projection, the vector u14 on the vector v3, -2. So first of all, we're going to draw those two vectors. Here is the vector u, make sure it is correct. And here is the vector v, make sure it is correct. Okay. Now, let's use the formula. According to our formula, our projection is going to be equal to v times u dot v over length of v squared. Well, let's see what we have in this case. V is 3, -2. U is 1, 4. And therefore, that's the formula you get. You may want to pause it for a second and make sure that you agree that the number crunching is done properly. Now, the dot product on the top needs to be computed. Well, remember, it's the sum of the products of the components. So it's 1 times 3 for the first component and 4 times -2 for the second component. And so if you do the arithmetic on that one again, turns out to be -5. So we end up with this vector being -5 over 13 times the vector 3, -2. If you want to see how much that is, well, you can plug it in your calculator. It turns out to be approximately -1.15 in the first component and 0.77 as the second one. If we try to draw that one, that's what it looks like. And now you might say, hey, why does it go in the opposite direction of v? Well, that's because u does. Notice that the angle between u and v is more than 90 degrees, which means that the cosine is going to be negative, which means that the projection is going to be in the opposite direction of v. How about the scalar projection? Well, all we have to do is we need to compute the length of this vector, and we could do it just from the answer that we got there. So just take the square root of -1.15 squared plus 0.77 squared, but we're going to do it from the actual formula that we've seen earlier. The formula, remember, is just the absolute value of the dot product of u times v divided by the length of v. So the dot product of u and v, remember, was -5. So when we take its absolute value, it's going to be 5. And the length of v is going to be the square root of its length squared, which was 13. So it ends up being 5 over square root of 13. So again, number crunching, very easy, not much to it. Try to understand what it means, what we're doing geometrically, and just keep practicing on it, but not a big deal.